You ever been scrolling through TikTok and noticed they have some real sketchy stuff for sale? I mean, cheap phones, cheap consoles, things I can't even explain, and then this, a $180 PS5 console. So of course, I had to buy it, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it's a scam. Okay, so I guess this is our PS5 console here. Also got what appears to be a controller. Wow, nice, a DualShock 3, I guess, cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess it looks like a PS5. This is low-key really cool and at the same time super jank. I mean, look at this thing. It's clearly 3D printed and it's just got some random screws inside of it. Then the front has, you know, our whole like black glossy part that's usually on a PS5. Now, obviously this is 3D printed and it's not glossy, but it is there, which is interesting. And then also got the other side to the plate. There's some ventilation on top. Here on the back, we actually have a lot of ports here. Got some USB, LAN, VGA, wait, VGA. VGA, really? HDMI, power. So yeah, pretty strange so far. Let's go ahead and compare it to a real PS5 though and see how it looks. Okay, so real PS5 here, and as you can see, they clearly just stole the shape from the PS5. It's got the whole black portion in the middle with the plates on their left and right side. Now this one's obviously a lot more boxy and not quite as curved and just, as I said, very jank, but you can see where it came from. Also wanted to compare it to this other random PS5 I've gotten in the past from like Temu or TikTok or whatever, and yeah, you can see it's somewhere in the middle, but let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in and see what it can do. Okay, I just plugged in the power, and look at this, guys. This is, oh man, just adding to the jankness here. When I first tried to plug it in, it actually didn't fit because the board is just kind of like flexing back and forth, so I had to like, yeah, look at that. It just, the board is moving back and forth inside the case. So it's, I don't know, not a huge deal, but come on, man. But let's try to turn this thing on and see what happens. There's an interesting button on the bottom, which I would assume turns it on, although there are zero power lights or anything, so no idea if this thing's even turning on, but I guess we'll find out here in a second. What? Oh, wow. What was that? Yeah, not gonna lie, that might have been one of the weirdest startups I've ever seen from any console, from TikTok, AliExpress, Temu, anything, but we are booted up here in, oh, what? This start menu is actually kind of sick. What is going on here? Let me go ahead and scroll around this thing and see what's up. And wait a second, do I hear the PS2 menu music right now? I do. That's actually an awesome touch. Okay, kind of like this thing so far. And as you can see at the top, we've got our icons from PS Plus to notifications to friends, just like a PS3, PS4, PS5 kind of deal. So let's go ahead and scroll around though here and see what else is on it. So we also got PSP, got LCD games, arcade favorites, light gun games. Okay, that's kind of cool. Vertical arcade, wheel games, tons of categories here. Let me go back to our actual consoles though. Okay, going back, PS1, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo Here we go with another console. I've seen this thing before, but like I haven't heard this name cross my mind in 15 years. ZX Spectrum, okay. Sinclair ZX81, never heard of that before. Sega Naomi, I forgot that was a thing. Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, Genesis. Here's the Atomic Swave. Pi game. What is Pi game? Oh, it's just Python games. I guess people made. Okay, that's kind of cool. Ports, Open Bore, 3DS, Wii, DS, GameCube, Game Boy Color, N64, Virtual Boy. What? TurboGrafx, Xbox. Yo, wait. Also, what is this advertisement here, bro? What is that? What am I watching? We're gonna have to blur out some of that because that's like I don't know if that's safe to show on YouTube. Okay, we also got Windows, MSX, some other stuff here. What in the world? They got everything here, man. Of course, very curious about Xbox, but I want to start with the classic. We'll go with Super Nintendo, I guess, is a safe bet. See what this does, and hopefully, oh no, man. Are there no thumbnails? Come on, this thing was so sick at the first glance on the home menu, and now we're at the games with no details, just names. That's actually tragic if they're all like this. You know what? We'll try out Super Mario Kart here and see if this loads up and works. Okay, that's cool. It's pre-configured with a nice little sidebars there, so you get the classic 4:3 aspect ratio there. Yeah, guys, really no surprise here. The game is running just fine. The sounds fine as well. So if it couldn't play Super Nintendo games, then I'd be pretty mad. But let's go back to our main menu here and try out a different game. I'm gonna skip right over N64 because I imagine it's probably fine because I'm very curious about GameCube here. I want to try out GameCube, see how that runs, and cool. We actually have some resemblance of thumbnails here, which is good to see. And you know, we'll try out I don't know, let's try out Smash Bros. Melee and see how that bad boy runs. And guys, if GameCube works, PS2 works, Xbox works, I'm gonna low-key call this maybe better than a real PS5 for the price. Like getting all these retro games on here and like a nice interface. You even got the whole GameCube console on the sidebars there. It's pretty sick. I like it so far, but let's go ahead and see if this runs. Ooh, it's running. Yeah, that's not great. It's like, it's running, but it just freezes every once in a while. Like you'll see when I jump, and actually, it's doing okay now. I call it acceptable. It is kind of laggy because I'm playing through a capture card, so I lose like a whole second and I just get screwed here, man. But I'd call it fine. It's playable, but not great. Let's go back and try out our next console here though. So next we'll try the Wii, which should be pretty interesting. And I should mention, like I mentioned this briefly earlier before, but it's really cool how they have some sort of trailer running in the bottom left-hand corner of a lot of these consoles. Like, I don't see anything for actually, no, it's for the DS as well. Got it for the DS, got it for the Wii. That's actually a sick touch. I love that. But let's go ahead and boot up the Wii here and try out a game and see how it runs. Looks like we have like 2 or 3 copies of every game here. Is it for different regions, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try to find a Mario game though and see if that can run. There we go. Mario Kart Wii. We gotta see if this bad boy will boot up and actually run properly. Judging by the GameCube win, I'm not expecting much, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, we're already getting some hiccups and some freezing on the main menu, which is not great. I can't even select my, there we go, finally selected it. But yeah, probably not gonna be very great once you get into the actual race here. See ya, suckers. Got him. Oh, crap. Okay, honestly, ever since the race started going, this game is actually running fine for the most part. I'd say even better than Smash Bros. was on the GameCube. I gotta figure out controls. It's just really strange playing PlayStation or playing Nintendo games on a PlayStation controller, so I gotta figure that out. But yeah, it's honestly not bad at all. But next up, as always, I'm pretty curious about the 3DS because the 3DS has 2 screens. So how do I play that on 1 screen? And we have, okay, 2 games. All right, let's back out of that and try the regular DS and see if there's any more games for that. Because it's gonna be the same kind of situation here. We got 2 screens here. We'll try out Thrillville Off the Rails for Europe. Sure. Okay, yeah, it's booted up, and that's a really interesting emulation like screen there. You can see both the screens kind of morph together. We got this cheerleader in the background screaming something about Thrillville, and the stylus, I saw it move briefly, but it's just getting stuck. Okay, that's not playable. What is going on? I can't even what is it doing? Okay, let's go back. I'm not gonna deal with that. Okay, now next up, guys, we'll try out PlayStation, and we're working our way up to PS2, PSP, and Xbox. Those very curious about those, see how those runs. But let's try out a PS1 game here. I want to look for a specific game from my childhood to see if it runs. Yes, they have it. Let's go, Razor Freestyle Scooter, dude. Okay, so when I was like, I don't know, 5 years old, I got a PS1 from a yard sale, and I think I also got this game at a yard sale too. And it was my first home console, and I was pumped to play it. And I played the crap out of this game because it's the only game I had. So yeah, this is gonna bring back some memories. Oh wow, man, this is sick. Let's go, yo, Chad. Let's go, Chad. It's like knock off Tony Hawk with Razor scooters. I don't know, just kind of sick. 360X up, heck yeah. 540 leg sweep. Yo, I can't miss. Oh, crap. Come on, Chad. Come on, Chad. Chad, what are you doing, bro? Chad was invincible for a minute, but now we're done for. My controller's breaking. All right, let's go back to the home menu before I rage. Chad. Try out some PS2 here and see how that runs. Ooh, and we got a different format here. Okay, I see you. We got the full cover art. Dude, this is sick. We got Toy Story 3. We got FIFA Street. That's a classic for me. But as always, a good test is GTA Vice City. So let's go ahead and boot that up and see how it runs on this PS5 here. By the way, it's... I don't know, the build quality on this thing, it's super jank. It's getting pretty hot. We do have a ventilation on the top and on the back here. I'm not sure which one is the way the airflow flows in, which way the airflow flows out, because I don't feel anything from either direction. And I can barely hear a fan inside, so yeah, I don't know. But it's fine though so far. I probably need to mess with the configuration of the controls here because the analog stick just doesn't work except for or it does sometimes, kind of. Not really, I can't go forward though. D-pad works kind of, but it's a D-pad and it's just kind of jank here. But it's playing, and honestly, so far it's fine. Let me see if I can punch some people and see how that runs. Oh yeah, take me out. Take me out, fool. You won't do it. You won't. Busted. You can even get busted on this thing. All right, so I mean, the game ran absolutely fine. A lot better than the GameCube game did. So let's go back, and next up I want to try out actually, we got PSP next, then Xbox. We'll see how those run. So a lot of times what I've noticed is a lot of these PSP games or PSP emulators will just have lots of like the PSP minis, as you can see here, but I know FIFA Street 2 is not a mini, it's a regular game, so let me boot that up and see how that runs. I actually tried that recently on another console, and it ran very poorly, so interested to see how this does. You know what, I actually kind of think the joystick is messed up here, because every game I've noticed when I press up, it just does nothing. Not ideal, but I guess I'll just use a D-pad for now. But anyways, honestly, the game is running perfectly fine, so let's go back and check out Xbox games next, because very curious about that. We got to see how that runs. Like, honestly, feel like you just barely ever see Xbox on anything. We got 9 games here. We've got Jet Set Radio Future, Nice, 2K5, MLB, Golf, Rayman Arena, Rogue Trooper, Tetris, World Championship Rugby, and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a very random mix of games. Let's try out Jet Set Radio, though. Not a great start because the Xbox logo booting in was just extremely choppy, but we'll give it a go a little bit further here. Okay, honestly, not doing much yet, but it's actually running a whole lot better in the game than I expected after that that initial intro there. And yeah, just playing around some more. It seems fine for the most part. There is some slowness here and there in like the cutscenes and like, you know, when you're talking to somebody, it seems like it's a little bit slow. But honestly, a lot better than I expected. But anyways, guys, I gotta say this thing is honestly pretty sick. We got 70,000 total games, as you can see here. But guys, let's go ahead and turn this thing off, open it up, and see what the inside of this thing is packing. You always love to see what things are packing. Okay, so I'm not sure about opening this thing up because actually the two plates on the outside are kind of morphed together by this bottom piece. And so I guess maybe the inside slides out. I don't know, let's just start taking screws out and see what happens. Okay, well that screw just spins forever, goes nowhere. This screw also just spins forever. That's not ideal. What in the world? Front screw is also just spinning in place and not going anywhere. What the heck, man? Okay, well there it comes. It's popping off now, kind of. Okay, so we can see our power button here on the front piece. You can kind of see inside of here. Okay, so that's interesting. So I think we can see enough here, but basically on the top here we have some intake holes, I believe, but the fan is not even aligned with those intake holes. It's just kind of off to the side of it, which is interesting. Then we also have like some exhaust holes in the back which have nothing aligned with it. It's just those are just there. You can kind of see if you zoom in there. It's just there on the back. Then of course the top also has some ventilation holes which are just there. There's no way for the air to route it that way. It's just kind of how it's happening. I don't know. It's probably good enough for the system, but very interesting. And oh wow, hold on. You know these 4 screws right here? When I said they look kind of odd because there's just like 4 random screws in the middle of the case. Well, those 4 screws are holding in our hard drive right there, or SSD I should say. Kind of hard to see in there, but you can zoom in and see there's just an SSD mounted to the plate on the inside. Wow, that's something. Let me know if you'd buy one of these things. And also guys, if you want to check out another video where I got another weird item from TikTok, check out this Xbox Series S. That thing is even weirder than this thing. Go check it out. I'll see you there.